Here's something that will completely change how you think about intelligence. It's not about what smart people do. It's about what they refuse to do. Most people think intelligence means solving complex equations, memorizing facts, or sounding intellectual. But psychology shows us something different. True intelligence is most visible in the behaviors highly intelligent people actively avoid. Think about the smartest person you know. Not the person who talks the most, but the one who consistently makes decisions that leave you thinking, how did they know to do that? That's not luck. That's the result of a mind that understands certain behaviors have hidden costs that aren't worth paying. High IQ minds refuse certain behaviors because they've calculated the long-term cost and decided it's too expensive. They protect their mental energy like it's their most valuable resource, because it is. Today, we're exploring 5 specific things that high IQ people almost never do. These aren't genetic traits you're born with. These are learned behaviors you can start implementing today. 1. They don't argue just to win. High IQ people rarely get pulled into pointless arguments. This isn't because they're weak or conflict avoidant. It's because they understand how energy works. Psychologists say that intelligent minds can separate ego from truth. They don't need to prove their right to feel valuable. Think about what happens in most arguments. 2 people enter with opposing views, each becomes more entrenched, and even when one person wins, what have they gained? Maybe they've damaged a relationship. Definitely they've spent mental energy. And the other person hasn't changed their mind, they've just learned to avoid the topic. High IQ people see this dynamic and opt out. When an argument has no potential for learning or growth, they disengage. They understand that winning an argument can still mean losing time, peace, and focus. They save their discussions for contexts where understanding actually matters and both parties are genuinely open to new information. The psychological principle here is cognitive efficiency. High IQ individuals naturally gravitate toward efficient uses of mental resources. An argument with someone who isn't open to changing their mind is cognitively inefficient, so they simply don't engage. 2. They don't follow group thinking blindly. High IQ people don't automatically believe something just because everyone around them believes it. They don't adopt opinions because those opinions are popular or socially rewarded. Psychology calls this resistance to groupthink, and it's one of the strongest markers of independent intelligence. When everyone in a room nods in agreement, the high IQ person is asking silent questions. Does this actually make sense? What evidence supports this? What assumptions are we making? This cognitive pattern starts with a simple pause. While most people immediately accept information from authority or popular sources, intelligent minds pause first and evaluate. This doesn't mean they're contrarian or reject everything. It means they evaluate before agreeing. They run new information through their own internal logic system before accepting it. Because of this habit, high IQ people are significantly less likely to chase meaningless trends, fall for misinformation, or copy decisions that don't align with their values. This trait becomes especially valuable in the age of social media, where groupthink spreads faster than ever. While others are swept up in viral trends, high IQ individuals maintain their analytical distance. They're willing to be the only person in the room with a different perspective if their analysis leads them there. This protects both better decision-making and mental autonomy. 3. They don't react emotionally without processing. High IQ people feel the full spectrum of human emotions: anger, frustration, fear, excitement, joy. They're not emotionally stunted. But here's what makes them different. Psychology shows they create a pause between feeling an emotion and acting on it. Instead of immediately exploding when angry or making impulsive choices when afraid, they process first. They ask crucial questions. What exactly am I feeling? Why am I feeling this way? Is this emotion giving me accurate information about reality? This emotional processing delay is incredibly protective. It shields them from regret, prevents damaged relationships, and stops poor decisions made in emotional moments. High IQ people understand emotions as information rather than instructions. When they feel angry, they don't automatically assume they should express that anger. They investigate it, understand its source, evaluate whether it's proportional, and then decide how to respond. This doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means processing emotions with analytical attention. 4. They don't chase attention to feel important. High IQ people don't need to be the loudest person in every room or the center of attention at every gathering. Psychologists link this to low validation dependence. Their confidence comes from internal standards, not applause, likes, or praise. This manifests in observable ways. They don't overshare on social media for likes. They don't exaggerate achievements to impress people. They don't perform intelligence by using big words unnecessarily. Instead, they simply apply their intelligence when needed. When high IQ people speak, It's usually intentional. When they stay quiet, it's usually thoughtful. Either choice comes from internal judgment rather than external pressure. Their sense of value doesn't rise or fall based on attention received. This gives them tremendous freedom to pursue interests that aren't popular, make choices that aren't impressive to others, and live according to priorities that might seem boring to people addicted to external validation. 5. They don't confuse being busy with being effective. Many people stay busy all day and still get nowhere meaningful. They're constantly in motion, answering emails, attending meetings, checking off tasks, but haven't actually moved toward important goals. High IQ people avoid this trap completely. Psychology shows that intelligent minds focus on impact rather than activity. Before taking action, they ask, does this actually move things forward? Will this create meaningful results? Is this the highest value use of my time? Based on these assessments, they ruthlessly cut unnecessary tasks, simplify overcomplicated systems, and prioritize thinking time over constant action. They know something most people miss: busy looks productive, but effective actually is productive. You can fill every minute with tasks and achieve nothing important. Or you can do less but do the right things, creating results that actually matter. High IQ people understand that. 30 minutes of deep strategic thinking often produces better results than 3 hours of scattered activity. High IQ isn't about showing intelligence to other people. It's about protecting intelligence from waste. Smart people don't drain their mental energy on ego battles, emotional reactions they'll regret, social pressure that contradicts their judgment, attention seeking that feeds empty validation, or fake productivity that creates motion without progress. They choose clarity over chaos. They choose intentionality over impulsiveness. They choose effectiveness over busyness. And most importantly, they understand that intelligence without discipline is just wasted potential. So here's a question for you: which one of these behaviors do you see most people doing without realizing the cost? And more importantly, which one are you ready to stop doing yourself?